Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about today. Patch 11.1.5's speculated release date on the PTR, horrific visions of the event tied to it, how to craft your best in slot weapon today, more Braan updates, and everyone's favorite content, delves, housing information, and how Blizzard could be adding something in the future that could change WoW and the space of MMORPGs forever. My name's Sky from the Comeback Kids. Sit down and grab a cup of coffee. We got a lot to discuss. But before we do, a quick word from our sponsor. I got something to show you. Oh yeah. Inside this box, we got a custom-made LED Comeback Kids neon sign from GSJJ. Now, whether you're looking to level up your gaming setup, add some personality to your space, or even just get a custom sign for your business, or I guess just all three like me, GSJJ has got you covered. Let's pop this bad boy open. Okay. Oh yeah, now we're talking. And it's like compact and light and durable. This thing looks so freaking cool in person, man. And on their website, by the way, they have everything you need to get the best neon sign for you. 22 different colors, different styles, like engraved, printed, double-sided neon signs if you're into that sort of thing. Plus, the installation for this thing is super simple. I'm just gonna put the stickies right here and put it up on the wall, dude. And they're freaking built to last. This thing feels very durable. Like I can throw it and it'll be fine. But I guess I probably shouldn't throw my new neon sign. By far my favorite part of this whole thing was I was on and off the site in a matter of literally minutes, and it's so user friendly. It's like someone's hand holding me through the entire thing. It was just so streamlined. If you've ever had an interest in a custom neon sign for your logo or some passions of yours, now is the time, because GSJJ is offering 50% off this bad boy right now. Click the link in the description and pin comment below. Check them out. Oh, yeah, dude. Check that out. Let's go, dude. Oh, dude. Look how freaking sick that is. Oh, my God. Listen, I'm going to go hang that bad boy up. Thanks, GSJJ, for sponsoring today's video. This is going to look epic in the background over there. Now, enough talk. Let's get back to the content. Okay, welcome back. Now, everyone's favorite form of content, delves, is once again getting some updates. And when we mean changes, we primarily mean to Braan. Now, Braan has been getting some adjustments constantly over the last couple of weeks, and including the launch of delves. But the last week, he got some significant nerfs that left a lot of people confused, even myself. At the launch of Season 2, he earned his new tanking role, and I guess Blizzard thought it would be a little too overpowered, so they decided to nerf it quite heavily. So they did make a blue post stating that everything you see on the screen here is getting nerfed, and he's getting hit pretty hard. So it sucked, and a lot of players thought it was really nice to have Braan tanking, take all the brute force the damage while you could just sit back in DPS. Personally, I agree. So Blizzard finally realized that they overshot on the nerfs here, and just as of the other day, they're reverting a couple of the changes as well as buffing Braan. So now Braan is going to be taking 13% reduced damage, have 10% more health, and take additional healing and damage reduction while he has his shotgun out. So for all you healers out there, this should definitely help when it comes to clearing out your higher tier delves, as before Braan would literally just get one-shotted whenever you would fight anything, and it felt awful last week. Not only that, Braan is now going to take 50% reduced damage from AoE, which is great because he would just get one-shotted if he sat in mechanics, and Braan's own personal spells to keep him alive got some cooldown reductions, use them more consistently. So overall, yes, Braan got some updates as well as some general spec, minor cooldown reduction, which is great. I'm going to be honest, Season 2 delves so far have been really, really solid in my opinion. It's made the gear progression very, very smooth, and the fact that you can get some of the best gear in the game farming tier 11 delves is something I am very, very happy about in this season so far. Don't forget, technically, this is one of the worst iterations of delves we're ever going to have, as it recently just got added this expansion. So through time, through an expansion or two, we all know they're going to do what they do best and refine it, make it a lot better, make it better for the community, as it is one of their most played systems in the game out of nowhere. I mean, could you imagine what delves are going to look like in a couple years from now? They're going to do a really good job. They just need a little bit of time to keep refining it and get it closer to how players like it. Additionally, this week, we did get access now to our second Spark on the live server. Some players took it in their own hands and decided to exploit the system and exploit the game. Somehow they got access to their second Spark early, so Blizzard decided, screw it. They gave us all our 2 sparks this week. So right now, if you have enough Gilded Crest, you can go over to the crafting orders vendor and create your 2-handed weapons to get a massive power spike. I just did this the other day on my Warlock while also acquiring my 4 set, and it skyrocketed my damage millions of DPS, which has made me very, very, very strong out of nowhere. But definitely go make that happen craft your 675 item. Okay, now when it comes to the future of the War Within, we actually got some brand new updates and data mining over on the PTR for the next patch over the last couple of weeks, which is 11.1.5, the Nightfall update. So firstly, we're now going to have access to a brand new faction, which is called the Flames Radiance, and it will be primarily hunkered down in Hollowfall. The whole idea is that we're leading a band of militia to protect them against the Sireki forces. So there's going to be a brand new scenario, quests, renown rewards, cosmetics, progression, and things of that nature, which should be really fun. Shout out to Dalaran Gaming for the footage you see on screen here as well. Go check out his content. Not only that, we're going to be having access to the Horrific Visions event for the corrupted cities of Stormwind and Orgrimmar. It's going to be very similar to how it was back in the day, where you just completing objectives, taking on challenges, and doing your best to maintain your sanity until you ultimately fail and get kicked out. This time around, you will be able to use what is called a Construct of Sword Dormi to join your party, which can either tank, DPS, or heal for you. And you can even activate higher difficulties for additional gear, cosmetics, items, and rewards. Blizzard did just recently announce that there are going to be some new solo achievements and titles added for this as well, similar to the Mage Tower. You can earn what is now called the Faceless One title and the Mad title, which is really cool. Additionally, there is some speculation that 11.1.5 is going to launch near the middle of May, around May 20th. You can see on the calendar update here with it stating that this is the Heroic Visions Revisited, that's when it will begin, which is the major feature of the 0.5 patch. Of course, this is up in the air, nothing is official yet, it's subject to change because all this hasn't been officially stated by Blizzard on the PTR yet. Not only that, we did get our first look and preview at the cooldown manager in 11.1.5, which is Blizzard's way of trying to combat weak auras being such a major part in the game. If you don't know, weak auras probably the most popular add-on you could have. And the whole idea is that it tracks important abilities, cooldowns, buffs, and everything under the sun that can make your character stronger in one place in a very simple way. For example, you can see on the screen here with my Affliction Warlock, I made my own weak auras, simply displaying the duration of all my damage over time effects on my target so I can make sure I have all of them up the entire time. Blizzard decided to take it into their own hands to split the cooldown manager in 4 major areas, with essential cooldowns, which is like your most commonly used abilities, utility cooldowns like your AoE stuns, your fears, your defensive, stuff like that, your tracked buffs, which could be your major procs to increase your damage, as well as tracked bars, which is the same concept just in a bar form, so it's there to let you know how long you have left of the buff. Of course, right off the bat, one of the biggest downsides of this cooldown manager is that it lacks some customization compared to weak auras. Besides allowing players to just, customize the general look and feel, there really isn't that much you can do or tweak or even fully customize like you can do on your own weak auras. You can do things like change the size, opacity, visibility, column number, and all that stuff, but you can definitely tell this is a very new iteration to them, and there's going to be a long road ahead of us in getting this shaped up to where it has even a chance in fully replacing, your weak auras add-on. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to hear that Blizzard's taking responsibility for the, UI not really doing great in today's day and age. And I think most people can agree that the current one just doesn't cut it. However, once again, I think it's going to be a very long journey before we're able to replace this add-on entirely. I think it's nothing but better for the game, and I think, through time, Blizzard's going to do a very good job, though. Immediately, one of the plus sides of using this is that it's a lot more simple than weak auras, and everything is within the game. It's not complicated. It's very easy to use. I know so many, WoW players that have been playing the game for 10 plus years, and they don't know how to make their own weak auras. They don't know how to edit them and customize them. So it's pretty crazy that that's a fact. But now, going into this, it's going to be very easy to customize it. Very big W for modern World of Warcraft here. For now, I definitely appreciate the effort. Personally, I'm going to stick with my own weak auras for the next 6 to 12 months until Midnight probably comes out. Additionally, we got some very big updates on housing and the decorations within it. Now, I know every YouTuber has done this video under the sun. There's a big talking point here that we're going to dive into in just a second, so I need you to hear me out, because I'm dying to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and I think this is something that can change WoW forever, as well as potentially MMOs. To quickly break down the article and the visuals you're seeing on screen here, there's going to be a basic and advanced mode for customizing and editing your housing feature. They got the basic mode, which is for quick and simple placement, and the advanced mode is having a lot more freedom. There's grid system, snapping feature. They also have a child and parent feature, so you can place objects on one of the bigger materials and you can move them all together for easy customization. They also have a dye feature where you can change the colors of wood, metal, and more, a complete interior customization where you can change the layout of your house entirely. And something they stressed is that the interior size of your house is not limited by the house's outside exterior. Not only that, the floor, the wall, and the ceiling have complete customization with different textures, colors, and feels, and they really emphasize the fact that they want the player to have as much customization as possible. If you want to break and clip items into the wall and have them hanging off the ceiling, they want you to be able to do that because they want you as the player to be as creative as you possibly can. This could be the first time I've ever said this though. I've never seen a community response and reaction so positive to a WoW post in my entire life. I went down into the WoWhead comment section and every single comment under this article was positive. Incredible amounts of positivity, great comments, and people overall just loving the feature so far on what they've seen. Now, personally, after I saw these videos, it really felt like they were a lot further along than I thought they'd be at this time. I thought they really wouldn't have anything to show, but they have the whole UI going. They're testing it out, great detail and stuff. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with even in the next 3-4 months from now. There's a point in your house customization where you can actually completely change the layout, edit the walls, change the textures and stuff. And you go into like a sky view, like, you know, editor and like option to see everything from above. And the second I saw this feature, a light bulb actually went off in my head about how amazing this could potentially be for like the RP communities and potentially making cool stories of your own inside of your player housing. And after further looking at some of these options, it really hit me. This looks a lot like the editor feature back in Neverwinter Nights in the early 2000s, where if you wanted to create your own dungeons or maps for, you know, players to go through your campaign, you can do that. Back then in that game, you could pretty much create your own campaign and your own world entirely. I know this is me spitballing, but could you imagine if something like that made its way to World of Warcraft? If Blizzard let us use this editor to create our very own smaller instances. Now, we've seen this be done in other MMORPGs in the past, like City of Heroes and Champions Online, where you would, you know, literally have the opportunity to create your own dungeons and fight your own supervillains and do these missions entirely from scratch, allowing players to create their own stories and challenges for other people to experience for themselves. If you really think about it, something like this doesn't seem so far-fetched to integrate in World of Warcraft. I mean, they already have the editor working and functional. You have the opportunity to change textures, flip things through wall and design it. You have the option to, you know, change the walls and the sizes, the dye material, and edit entirely your own home. What could be really stopping Blizzard from saying, hey, what if we scaled this up and gave players more flexibility to work with and gave them the opportunity to really do whatever they want and create whatever they want, whether it be, you know, a small instance or even a large instance like a dungeon, or hell, even an entire zone. Theoretically, it would simply just be scaling this feature up because they have the groundwork and they have the base of this finish. You look at these videos from some of the customization options that they had in these previous games, and World of Warcraft's looks a lot similar. Could you imagine the potential here of handcrafting community-based dungeons that you could run through or even explore, or entire zones to create fully customizable events that you can make for your guild? I mean, the possibilities are literally endless here on what players can bring to the community, and I think it's something that could potentially happen in the future of World of Warcraft that could change the game entirely and the MMO landscape in general. It could be bigger than just a simple MMO. It can be an entire RP world, and I hate to say it, it's similar to, you know, potentially something like Roblox or GTA RP, where you can create your own communities and stuff. But all I know for right now is that so far, they're absolutely killing it with the housing and decoration potential here, and I think it's something that's going to blow a lot of people's minds and definitely exceed expectations here. Of course, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm a World of Warcraft player. I can't help but do that. The potential here for having the ability to edit maybe small instances or even a small dungeon is definitely possible in the nearby future with how simple and easy it is for players to edit spaces like this. Blizzard capitalized on this potential they can probably make a crap load of money and get a lot of players active in something like this and really give players endless content and replayability for the community as well. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of very interesting news and updates today, and just a lot generally to go through. If you guys are interested, we are doing our podcast every week where we dive into everything going on World of Warcraft, so definitely be sure to check that out. And if you're solo player primarily and you don't really have anyone to play with, pay attention because we got a very important message for you. One last note we wanted to make: if you're looking for a guild or people to progress through Mythic Plus with or raid with next season, the Comeback Kids are recruiting, and any and all players are welcome to come on down, play with us. We're looking to fill out some new members for the raid. Oh my god, we fucking did it. Oh my god, let's fucking go, bro. Let's fucking go. That's how that shit gets done. If you're on the Horde, you can simply just go to the guild tab and search up the Comeback Kids, and we should pop up. Make sure you do have the guild size on any so you can actually see us. Either way though, if it doesn't work, you just use the Discord link in the comment section below. Hop in there and verify, get yourself in, and then we can get you invited by you posting your name and server under the guild invite tab.